Good morning, y'all. So, first off, forgive me for the lack of voice today. I am recording this while I'm getting ready because I wanted to wait until I had more of a voice, and that kind of didn't happen. So, you get this raspy me, but I hope that you will stick around because I'm really excited about today's episode. Today's episode came from a conversation I had with a BDM of a supplier, and we were talking about marketing, and she was talking about the fact that she helped her agencies with things like events and other types of like fun nights or whatever. And it made me think, do agents know how to market things like that as well and work them into your content strategy? So today we're going to talk about how you put in things like that to your content strategy and how to market them on social media. So listen up and let's get started.
Welcome to the Social Takeoff Podcast, a podcast for travel professionals who are ready to use social media to help their business take off. I'm Kelly Hay-Smith, your host. I'm travel agent turned social media marketer who now works with multiple seven-figure travel agencies to help them infuse strategy and create a target social plan. I'll be sharing all of the tips and tricks of the trade, as well as content ideas and trends that you should be using to help grow your travel business. Let's get started.
All right, y'all. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this recording's not going to be perfect. I am recording while I am getting ready and sipping coffee because I was trying to wait till I got my voice back to record. The more coffee I drink, the more voice I feel like I have. So it's all good. Let's dive in and get this episode going because I really think this is an important episode for you guys to hear. So let me say this first and foremost. It is always the most important to market your service. That should be priority number one. But marketing your service can look a lot different at different times. And so something that a lot of the agents and agencies that I work with, both in my clients as well as in Careers on Vacation, do things like events, do things like whether it's some sort of like event like a cruise night or a come learn night or a vendor show, whatever. They're doing events to get out in the community, right? Well, I started thinking, sorry, I'm telling you, those allergies are something this year. I started thinking after a conversation with a supplier the other day about this very topic. She talked about how what she saw when it came to sales was if she hosted like a learn night for agencies, the product sold itself. Gosh, I'm so sorry. She hosted a learn night and they just needed to get people to the learn night and then the product would sell itself. And I was like, okay, well, are we putting these things in our content strategy? And it's not just the marketing, it's not just the content strategy, that's the marketing strategy. So I'm going to talk Disney. Just got home. Y'all know I love Disney. I'm going to talk Disney for a second. We know that the upcoming release of 2024 is probably within the next 2 months, okay? It could be April, could be May, could be early June, but we're going to get it at least in Q2. So is that event, that launch in your marketing plan? Are you going ahead and talking about it? But one of the things that I did when I was selling travel was I always had a party or an event around launching the next year's Disney products. So I would have snacks and some type of event. I hosted one at a mercantile. I hosted one at a local country club. I hosted one here at my house. And we did a drive-in movie with it, like all kinds of fun things that I did when that launched. And so maybe you're planning events. Maybe you're planning on doing a VIP night, and your BDM for sandals is going to come in and talk about that. Maybe you're hosting a night. Maybe you want to sell more sandals and beaches, and you don't know what to do to get started. Content's a great thing. So the first step of that is, if you're trying to sell more of a product, that is a goal, and that needs to go into your content plan. It needs to be considered in your content strategy to go ahead and put in your plans. But some other ways to get that marketed is for you to ask a BDM. If you are an agent, if you're an IC, ask your agency owner to bring the BDM for that, or host it yourself. You can put something together. You can do this virtually. You can do it in person, but host some type of event, whether it be virtual or in person, and teach people about the product. There are a lot of myths out there when it comes to travel. People think they can't afford it. That's usually the number one thing. Well, that's not in my budget. Well, how do you know? We haven't talked about it, but they automatically assume that. So if we're teaching them about it, it's going to take away that myth of I can't afford it. And it's really great to do that in some type of event, because they can ask questions rather than just read your content. I gotta get a sip of coffee. Hold on. Okay. So how do you utilize things like that in your marketing strategy? And then how does that relate to your content plan? Well, if your goal is sell more X, sell more, we're going to go with beaches and sandals. Sell more beaches and sandals. Okay. If I'm going to try to sell more beaches and sandals, yes, I need to create content that directly like hits the objections that people have to that location. But I also need to educate people more. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, first off, if you have not been creating content for beaches and sandals, but that's what you want to sell more of, if you all of a sudden have a VIP night, but you haven't kind of warmed people up to the fact that you're selling that, that's going to kind of be a shock to their system. So you need to start really sprinkling in, content for beaches and sandals, if that's the goal, right? Okay, we're using that as the goal. If this goal is we're going to up our sandals and beaches bookings, I need to start introducing people to that in my content plan. But let's go above and beyond, and let's schedule one of those VIP nights, whether it is you that's going to do it, or a BDM, or agency owner, or an agency friend who specializes in that. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to pull them in, you're going to set it up. You can do it on Zoom, you can do it at a local restaurant, whatever. Create the event. But now, in your content plan, you need to incorporate talking about that event into your content plan. But I'm going to give you some tips to doing that. I also am going to give you some tips before and after the event. Because if you are targeting a specific group of people, we want to make sure that we're talking to them. But hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm putting the cart before the horse, y'all. Okay. So first off, we've got the event. We've got the event scheduled. Now I need to market it. Yes, old school, create an event on Facebook. It does work. Cool, cool, cool. But you also want to make sure that you are doing other types of posting for that. Okay? Get into Facebook groups. And when people are talking about oh my gosh, my husband and I haven't been away in 10 years since the kids were born and yada, yada, yada. I'm hosting a VIP night for sandals. You should really come check it out. It's a really easy, quick trip. You don't have to put a lot together. It becomes, it's not difficult. And you can be there and back really quickly so that you're not away from the kids too long. Whatever. We're talking about that in Facebook groups. You're creating, of course, posts on your profiles, meaning your Facebook page and your Instagram profile. But the bulk of your invites and your posting should not be on your profile. The bulk should go in your stories. And here's why. Number one, have an RSVP list of some kind that takes them to your email list. Make sure you're utilizing that. So when you're on social media, put a link that says RSVP here. That way you get somewhat of an idea of who's coming, but also you get an idea of, you get their email list or email on your email list so you can continue to market to them even when they don't show up, because there's going to be some who don't show up. Okay, that's number one. Number two, so what I was saying is on your stories, you can put the link to that using, the link button on stories. And so that makes it really easy because it's one click. Number two, change your link in bio. On Instagram, we all have this link tree. I'm actually getting ready to test a new method and no longer having a link tree. Mine's from Canva, but still it's what it is. I'm going to test a new method within the next month. If it works, I'll be bringing you all that info. But change to your link in bio for your VIP night. Take out Linktree completely and put that one event as the one link so that when they click it, they go one place and you're getting that RSVP and email. Okay, that's going to be what we're pushing. We're 4 weeks out from the event. We're pushing this for 4 weeks. So that's going to be changed. Create those stories on Canva that are very, very easy to just pop up there all the time. And it's really important to do that so that you can put those up every few days. But also make sure that you get on and do a talking head and talk to them about the event and why they should come. Y'all, I'm sorry. Why they should come. And also who should come. And also what they're going to learn. And also what's in it for them. Is there a lot of times, especially with sandals, they will offer a promotion to whoever comes live. Make sure you talk about that. Go live and talk about that. These are the posts that you share to your personal page. Not all of them, but like the first one, and then in a few, maybe in 5 or 6 more days next week, share it again. These hard-hitting promotional things are the things that you want to share to your page, to your personal page, but you don't want to overshare it to your personal page. Okay? Don't spam them. Just share it every so often. Otherwise, people are going to tune out to what you're saying. Okay. So that gets added in to your content plan. Now, we're going to be talking more and more about content strategy. I've told you before, I'm doing a live event actually later today. I have a panel about my live event, which is coming up next month. It's for Careers on Vacation community, grads, students, Wanderlust CEO. Anyway, I have written and I'm getting ready to record the 4 pieces of creating a content strategy. And inside that is business goals, of course. And part of your content strategy for business goals are promotions. And you don't want to promote too many promotional things at one time because, again, you start to look like a booking engine and not a service provider. But when we're doing this, if we're doing a VIP night, if we're doing this extra event, that is the promotion that we're pushing. So this goes directly into your content strategy. So now that you've built that in, I want to talk about content before and after, but this actually extends to vendor events. So all of you, especially this spring, I have seen so many pictures of people getting back out there and doing vendor events. So like bridal shows or, just different types of vendor events that travel agents like to do. And I think that there is so much to be like, there's so much to gain from doing vendor events that I think they're really important. You get out there and you're pretty much local, which people really like that when they're planning travel. But what does that have to do? You don't really need to market that you're going to be there. I mean, you can especially say it in your socials, but you don't really need to make a bunch of posts that are like, come see me, come see me, come see me, because it's really just an event and you're taking advantage of who's there. However, if you are doing a vendor event, I want you to think about the demographic that's going to be there. So if it's a bridal show, hold on a second, y'all. I'm so sorry. I tried really hard to wait to record this. Like, it's literally almost 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. I was trying to record this when I was not coughing in your all's ears, but it just didn't work out that way. So here we are. I hope you were stuck around for the whole thing. Okay. So if you are doing vendor events, let's say you're doing a bridal show, okay? What I want you to remember is who is coming in to that bridal show. First off, only choose vendor events that suit your ideal client. If you specialize in family travel, bridal events are probably not specialized. I'm sorry, I'm using my own words against me. If your niche is family travel, bridal shows are probably not where you should be putting your money. But a back to school event or an end of the school year event or a family spring thing, family spring fling or whatever like that would be your ideal event, right? So I want you to consider who your niche client is when you're choosing these vendor events. But I really want you to be considering who is going to be at that vendor event as you start creating a content plan. As you start creating your content plan, consider who's going to be at that event. So what I mean by that is, recently I had a client who did a golf show. Her niche is high-end luxury travel, specializing in taking families on international trips, but high-end luxury is her niche, and she did a golf show. We wanted to make sure that before and after the golf show, there was content geared towards golfers, because when you pass out that information or your banner has your Instagram handle or your Facebook handle on it, they go look you up. You want to be sure that you have content that appeals to them when they go find you. Because if all of your content is like, well, she's here for an all-inclusive thing, that's what we're talking about, but all she's posted about is Universal and Disney, what? We're confused. You've lost them. You got them excited about a type of trip, and then they go to your Instagram or your Facebook, and they're not seeing that content, or your TikTok or whatever, but you're not seeing that content, and they're lost. So consider what you're promoting the most. And again, if it's a family thing, then it should be really close to your niche. But if like you're doing a bridal show and you've determined that is an ideal client for you, but you don't have anything about honeymoons or destination weddings on your content, then make sure before you go do that you have some content posted about said topic. because you want to make sure that you capture them. Because I promise you, before they book with you, the process, not the service, before they actually complete the booking with you, they're going to look you up on social media. That's why I call it the gap closer. But you have to make sure that you continue to capture them and get them excited based on some of the content that they see there. So it doesn't all have to be that, but make sure that you are sprinkling in content that attracts those people that you are pulling in at said event into your circle even more by creating content that will speak to them. Okay. So that is my thing for today. I mentioned the event. If you are in the COV community, you are a COV student, a grad, or a Wonderlist CEO, our live event is a content creation, content marketing workshop live. You're getting so much. I'm telling you, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. So we will be in Orlando. We will be doing some pre-work where we are walking through some of the steps of creating your content strategy. You're going to get I've already written the program. I've got to record it, but we're going to do the 4 pieces of building a content strategy. You're going to get a course on that. And then we are going to meet in a Zoom, and I'm going to walk you through those pieces because I am going to start teaching about content capsules. I'm really excited about this concept and helping people understand how to capture content. And so we're going to start working through that and what your client journey, what all of these first steps of building your content strategy have to do with what content you actually capture for your capsules. We're going to walk through all of that. So then when you get to the event, it'll be a Friday, and we will have kind of a little bit of get to know you, but also like a lot of prep for Saturday. And Saturday, we're going to Magic Kingdom, Disney's Magic Kingdom together. And I'm going to teach you how to gather content while you're there. So while we're going to have an amazing time, we're also going to be working to get that content while you're there. So I'm going to teach you how to get content, what content to get based on. Because here's the thing. There's room, I think, for 10 people at the workshop. All 10 people should be trying to get different content because none of them are going to have the exact same capsules that they need. Why? Because none of them are going to build the same content strategy. And so they will have that knowledge. You will have that knowledge prior to going. We'll learn what content you need to get while you're at Disney's Magic Kingdom. And then the next day, which will be Sunday, we're going to spend all day between sessions. I'm going to be teaching a lot, and you will have time to hands-on work and create it, whether that's putting it into carousel posts or some type of post or getting the captions written. I'm going to be there walking you through it. And then you're going to get a bonus day for most of the day on Monday to come back in, make sure that all of your questions are answered, that you've gotten Reels editing done, and all of these things are done and ready to go. It's going to be amazing. You should have a full month of content ready to go. Now, if you don't want to do all Magic Kingdom content, you can bring content with you that we can work on. But also, you'll have all this content ready to go and scheduled, because I'm going to work with you on scheduling your content as well. We're going to look at your insights to see when you should be scheduling. All of those pieces will be done at the live workshop. The sale, the doors open this week. And like I said, I think there's only room for 10. Now, if you're not COV community and that sounds amazing to you, first off, let me know. If you are not a COV student and that sounds amazing to you, let me know, because I want to know if we need to, expand that a little bit. But also, if it doesn't sell out in the COV community, I will be offering it in public. So, there's that. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, wait a minute. End of week this week, there will be something new coming to my Instagram. So I recently I hit over 10,000 followers, which means I can offer subscriptions. And I've been racking my brain on how I can give you amazing content above and beyond, so that not changing what I'm already giving out on Instagram. I do not want to lessen that for subscriptions, and I won't, which is why I didn't just jump at subscriptions. But I have put together a content plan for subscriptions that will be just a whole nother level, a whole deeper level than what I usually put out. And that is going to launch end of this week as well. So you'll hear about it on 5 Things Friday, and then you will be able to go sign up. It will be less than a cup of coffee a month, literally under $5 a month. And there's going to be so much content in there. So I want you to get in my DMs today. Tell me what you think about the event. Tell me what you think about subscriptions, what you would like to see. And then if it's something you'd be willing to sign up for. So, all right. Okay. I am going to sign off, and I will talk to y'all real soon.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. Make sure to leave us a review below and come find me on Instagram at Kelly Hay Smith and let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Make sure to check back every Friday for a bonus episode, 5 Things Friday, and every Tuesday for a brand new episode. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. Make sure to leave us a review below and come find me on Instagram at Kelly Hay Smith and let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Make sure to check back every Friday